All right, welcome to the Weather Show with Vin Crosby and our live stream on, yep, you heard it. It's true, the snow that is in the forecast that's going to be coming our way. Many people talking about it. Will it be a real messy commute tomorrow morning? That is the big question that I'm getting asked by many people. Let's go and check out and see exactly what we have going on across the region. We do have the thin band of clouds. We do see them moving on in, and they typically always will come in from this direction. We are going to see this band of clouds stretch out, and typically when I see a pattern like this and the clouds stretching out, we do not see a whole lot of precipitation that moves on in to the region. Usually they split the storms, and some of it goes into the mountains and to the north, and the other goes down to the south and around the Owyhee County region. This is why I believe in this situation, it's incredibly unique. And it isn't unique for the main reason, just doing a little adjusting here. It's unique for the main reason that the storm track is going to do a real, I won't say weird track, but it is going to make a bend around the southwest. And because of the way the jet stream is originated, it's going to, I think, keep the snow going in the Treasure Valley and enhance it enough that we will see accumulations on the Treasure Valley floor. So that's what we're looking at with this satellite picture. So this doesn't look like a whole lot. As a matter of fact, if you look closely, there's clearing about 6 hours to the west. Yeah, in the central and western areas of Oregon, there's not a whole lot of cloud cover there. However, this is where the storm track and the uniqueness settles on in. Let's take a look at it. So let me interact with this here. Get my tools out. And now we see our little satellite picture here. What the whole gist on the story behind this storm track is when turning my mouse draw here, because if you watch, I love to draw. This system here clearly elongated, but you see that little curl right there at the end? That curl is an indication that the jet stream is starting to dig or make a turn. And when we have a curl like that in the clouds, that is when we see almost a real good pivot going on in the atmosphere. That is what's going to take place with this. So the center is probably right in through there. The pivot is going to sit here, and then that's going to allow this system to go underneath us in Idaho and then kind of pass a little bit to the south. So if we go in for a closer look, and I'm just going to take this off for a second so I can get to the right spot and then come back here. So Boise, Nampa, Caldwell, right in there. See those city lights down underneath there? That's Boise, Nampa, Caldwell in the Treasure Valley. The mountains, of course, up and through here. And we'll show you those snow totals coming up in just a bit. And then, of course, the Owyhee Mountains down through here. Twin Falls right in through there, the Magic Valley. Clouds moving on in from the southwest to the northeast. However, what you're not seeing is the upper level winds, the jet stream. So if you follow the clouds and where they're moving, if you look right in through here on the far left-hand side of the screen, this is where we start to see the clouds kind of moving up in this direction. You see them right through there? And then notice these clouds down through here, they go in this direction through here. So the center is still back towards the west, and with the center still back towards the west, and now making that pivot, these clouds are going to go in this direction like that, and then gradually this line of clouds is going to move like this, like this, like this, but then bend so they're kind of almost lined up with the Treasure Valley. You following me there? So it's going to make a switch where all this right here is going to be turned on its side and then continue to dump the precipitation right up in through this area on a consistent basis. So that's what I'm seeing here in the upper levels of the atmosphere and with this particular storm system. And you can see it's got a pretty good curl here, but it's this bottom part that's down through here. This right there, that is a telltale sign of those clouds crossing this curl right in through there, that this system is making a turn down to the south, and it's going to go down to the south here and then send all those clouds and the precipitation back to the northwest. So that is the situation we have set up right now across the region. The radar already showing snow coming on in. However, the observations right here, this literally is what we're looking at with temperatures around 37 degrees in Boise. 37 degrees, 38 degrees, Meridian, Caldwell. You see the temperature still well above the freezing mark back as you go further towards the west. The dew point temperature is down, and let me add that in here. The dew point temperatures are down in the low to mid-20s. That's the blue numbers here, and that means that we're going to see, as the precipitation falls and comes on in, we're going to see that falling in to the Treasure Valley floors. So I see I have some comments there. Let me get this. I'm going to close this here. Awesome. Hey, Justin, thank you for that great comment there. Appreciate you, my friend. So I got comments up as well. Got 6 people watching. All right. Yeah. More the merrier. More the merrier. And I think if you want to drop some money my way, there's some money there too, because I'm just begging for money. You don't have to. That's okay. But this is where I'm at. Okay, the temperature map right in through here. I got all distracted because I saw my comments. Yeah, please chat in and let me know where you're watching from. I know sometimes we get watchers from all over the country, and that's pretty unique. All right, so with the wind, it's, dying down a bit. The red numbers, those are wind gusts. And then as we go back to the northwest, even back up towards the blues, it looks like up here around Morgan Mountain, that's at 4,200 feet. That's where the temperature is 29 degrees. So when the precipitation starts falling into this atmosphere, that's going to help the moisture kind of evaporate. Evaporation in the atmosphere is a cooling feature. And with that cooling feature, that'll help drop the temperature down a little bit. Overnight, though, it's going to take some time for the precipitation to actually stick. So the amounts, that's going to be a little challenge, because it's not like we have a lot of real cold temperatures that have been around for the past couple of days. And the ground, to be honest, is relatively warm. It's going to be above freezing for quite some time. So a lot of this will just be wet roadways across much of the Treasure Valley overnight tonight. Into the early morning hours, though, that is when things are going to change, probably for the worse as far as road conditions go. Let me put this one into motion if it'll let me. No, it won't. But let me go back here and do a national kind of look here. So this will give us a better perspective, and then this one usually is a better to loop. There it goes. So this tells a good story here. So you can see that curl down to the bottom. Remember that little area highlighted there where there was like a crisscross in the clouds where it was pivoting? That's this enhanced precipitation that's down here by Sacramento in through California, heading again to the Sierra Nevada mountains. They are just getting crushed with snow around Tahoe and Kirkwood and all those great ski resorts down through there. And then that elongated area goes all the way on up in the radar, back across the Jordan Valley, over Ontario, all the way on up towards Spokane. And then with this, as it starts to make its pivot, this thin line tomorrow morning is probably going to be just over here around central areas of Nevada, back towards Twin Falls, and bending on a different angle, coming in from probably from the bottom right-hand side of your screen out towards the top left-hand side, or southeast direction to the northwest direction. That is why we're seeing that there. Hey, Craig, thanks for watching, bud. I see you there. Yo, Vin. Craig was one of those break dancers back in the day. He's like, yo, yo. I know you are, Craig. Did the backspin, I think. That was Craig's specialty. Back up into the north around I-84, around Pendleton, that's where we'll see possibly some slick roads, but I really think this is going to be a unique feature with the jet stream, the way it's originated, and allowing that snow to fall into the Treasure Valley across the region. So let me go back down into this loop. Is usually very aggressive, very much overly done, but you can see there's lots of snow coming into the northwest. The oranges down to the bottom, I think that's all it'll let me do there, so I'm just going to have to move this portion for you to see. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, it's doing the radar, that's why. There it is. All right. So now you can see kind of the scale at the bottom. Light blue area to this darker navy blue to light blue, it's about 1 inch. And then you get up to this lighter blue to this lighter blue, and that's about 2 inches. And then you get into this powder blue to green, that's 3 to 4 inches rather. And so as you can see back up here in the Treasure Valley, we are looking, matter of fact, I'm going to make that very big. So it does bring that powder blue down in towards northern Ada County, up there around Middleton. And then the greens, that's 4 inches. That's back up there into the mountains and the higher elevations up around Emmett, Freeze Out Hill. So that white dot there, that's Boise. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at the mountains, seeing, especially down to the south and west in the Owahis and southeastern areas of Oregon, anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow coming down in the area, and then back up into that thin line into the mountains, not too far into the mountains either. I mean, like Idaho City may see a lot less out of this than even some areas in the foothills outside of Boise, just because of that, again, that orientation that's going on across the region. So that's why we are looking at the snow totals are going to be a little tricky. Southern areas of Ada County. Let's see if I can do this again. There you go. You can kind of see Ada County right in through there, and then there's Canyon, and right up and through here is Ontario. This is where the north side of, say, Interstate 84 and on north, that's where we'll see, I think, the better accumulating snows, and down to the south a little less. This is an overdone model, though, and I think the timing of the precipitation, I think, because the temperature is up and it's going to take a while for the temperature to go down. We'll get snow on the grassy areas. Roadways, I mean, some areas may only get like a dusting to 1 inch out of this as you go into the southern areas of the counties. And then, of course, in some areas you may get to 1 to 2 inches of snow, which is really what I'm leaning towards. Some areas may pick up a little bit more, obviously, up in the foothills as this thing originates. And then notice there's also a little bit of a bullseye south and east as you get down towards the south and east portions of Elmore County and northeast areas of Hawaii County. Not a whole lot of snow, though, falling in towards the Magic Valley. Now, this is a time frame that's overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning with this snow. So that's kind of the way that is looking there. Boom. And where am I? Come on back. I'm just going to take that off. There I am. Yo. Good to see y'all. We've got 8 people now watching. This place is rocking. We got a party going on here. Of course, this is live, and many people will be watching after the fact. Is this when I end up stop talking, and then you will see the video that was done just a little bit. I think we started around 8:40 or so. But let me go back and talk about, this is the one I wanted to show you. This is the European model. So this European model also comes in with that long line because of the track I showed you of the jet stream. This long line of snow, that's snowfall precipitation. It's in millimeters, but I did the math myself because I'm real smart like that. And that darker shade of blue that's over Boise, that's around 3 millimeters. It comes off to about 0.11 inches, which if you do a little mental math and snow, then that's when we get around 1 inch or 2 of precipitation generally in the Treasure Valley. More in this case, like I said, because of the ground being above freezing and it's not a real cold air mass per se, we are seeing temperatures in the 30s, mid-30s to low to mid-40s, 30s rather, and that is why the snow will come down, take some time to stick on the roadways. Bridges and overpasses, of course, that's surrounded by the cold air, they usually and typically will freeze first. I think the grassy areas will see a little bit. But this is your typical Boise snow. A little different, though. The uniqueness of this storm is pretty unique. And so if you're just tuning in, I'm going to go back and talk about that here, because it is pretty cool, actually. And what you can't see, so this is the satellite picture. So what you cannot see with this, and I'm going to go real cool on you. Tonight is just one of those days I'm going cool. I'm going to use the blue color just to go crazy on you tonight. So in the upper levels of the atmosphere, there's a lot of jet stream winds. That's the core of, right, the jet stream. And right now with this system, all that energy is way down here to the south. And that is continuing to drop down in towards the south. Master Marv just tuning in. Hello. We love new people tuning in. That's awesome. So the jet stream going in through here. But what you can't see in the upper levels of the atmosphere, there's a little tiny core that's like right in through here. And so when we have the real high winds coming in this direction, and then there's a buckle that's unique, and then there's one of these little disjointed turns in the direction of the high winds and the upper levels of the atmosphere, that's what's making this a unique situation. Like I said before, typically when we see this thin amount of clouds stretched out like that, it means we get hardly anything, even though the models go hog wild with snow. This situation, because of this little core of the jet stream, and because this is going to pivot from this direction and end up in this direction overnight tonight, that's going to keep the precipitation and the clouds spinning on up into the Treasure Valley, giving us that 1 to 2 inches of snow. And then, it'll move out by the morning and it'll all be kind of done and over with. But in the morning hours, with the wet roadways and the snow and the potential to be around freezing for brief moments, there will be, car accidents and stuff like that, just because, we lose our minds here in Idaho when people get snow on the roads, right? And driving to work and all that. So give yourself some space between you and the cars in front of you. Cut the speed down from 75 and 80 miles per hour, which it has been lately on I-84, bring it back to 55 for me, will you, tomorrow morning? That would be a good thing for us here in southwest Idaho. Ski areas look pretty good with this too. I mean, it's not going to be a great dumping, but this has been a great season. Inch to maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow in some of the locales, Brundage, Tamarack, even Sun Valley eventually, as this makes its way towards eastern Idaho. And then, of course, Bogus has there's been some great skiing going on. I got the old weekday pass and was able to get up last week. My friend Rob and Jonathan, we got up there and the legs have now recovered. But boy, the snow and the powder was great. Been just a great ski season up there around Bogus. So wonderful weather pattern that we got going on right here with this system. So that is really a lot of what I have for you tonight. Just there is a winter weather advisory out by the National Weather Service. Again, nothing different from what I just told you. I don't want to say it's not going to be a huge concern, because sometimes when you don't say it's not a huge concern, people just, tune out, and then it just takes one little patch of even a half inch of snow packed down on the roads and could be sliding around. So, but the good news for you that hate snow is the temperatures, they're just barely getting to around freezing at this hour. The precipitation is starting to move in. It is going to evaporate a little bit. There's going to be a wet snow content, and the temperatures have been above freezing really during the past couple of days, quite a bit. So that concrete and the cement, pretty warm compared to the last system we had back around the Christmas time and all that. So that is all kind of pressing down towards the south and the east, and it will continue to do that overnight tonight. So, yep, looks like a white morning commute. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the donation, too. $5. All right. We like money. Money for the poor meteorologist. Woe is me, right? Just kidding. I appreciate everything. Let me go and show you the observations. We just did that. Let's get back to that radar. I want to go to the radar, and I want to show you the local radar. Too many buttons on this product I'm using. So this is our Doppler radar down here in Boise. And even though it looked like a whole lot going on across the region, and when we zoom in, it's not a lot of precipitation. As a matter of fact, it's very sparse, very light in intensity. And you can see that back here in southern Ada County, that little band coming on through around Nampa and Lake Lowell. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pause it. And I'm just going to bring it up here too around. That's 8:47 that was taken about 10 minutes ago. And then there's some light snow kind of trying to break out around Eagle, some flurries. This will be very, very light in intensity. Hardly, one of those where you can hardly have to see the flakes. You have to look up into the street lights to see it as it first comes down. But as this moves in, this moisture, and because, again, that unique storm track and the upper level jet stream winds, that is where we're going to see the snow come down and start accumulating, especially after midnight, going into around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So that is where this band of snow is now going to stay there. It's going to stay there, I think, in this pattern, and then kind of slowly bend and then bring snow in towards the region. So, yep, looks like a little bit of white coming to the ground. And then, by 11 o'clock in the morning, it'll be all gone, melted away, because there's not a lot of cold air coming on in back on the back side of this. So that is the way things are shaping up here. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. I appreciate y'all. And thanks again for the donation. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't. If you want to hit the little bell, that little bell there, that will alert you when I'm up and posting something, and then you can watch the content. I'm going to be doing it more frequently. I've got a huge project I just finished up and working on it for 4.5 years. I'm totally excited about it, and been working on getting this little business plan of mine up and running. That's why I haven't been doing a lot of videos, but that is going to change dramatically, my friends. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. You have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, safe night. And if you can, get up there and hit the slopes, because the skiing is going to be great. More great snow coming to the ski resorts and local ski resorts. They love the folks going up there skiing. They love the traffic, and there's so many great people that are up there and watching, working. Give them good tips, tell them hi, tell them you appreciate them. Boy, we're just blessed in this area to have this wonderful, wonderful environment of where we work, right? So have a great night, folks. Love y'all, and hopefully, we'll try to get back here in the next couple of days.